Who is rich? Rich is my friend down the street. No, I'm just kidding. In Pirkei Avot, chapter 4, the first Mishnah, we get this question: who is rich? And the answer to that question is one who is happy with their own lot. Something that you may be hearing if you're a parent during this time of quarantine is that's not fair. It may come out another way, but there's a lot of ways that kids can say that. Parents, you may be hearing this. Children, you may actually be hearing your parents say the same thing during this season, because we're all having to go through certain challenges that we're not used to. And as the Talmud says, all beginnings are difficult. But what if God didn't intend for us to all have the same things or be the same things? And in that sense, life wasn't really fair, but God had a unique design for each of our lives. And each of our unique lives, were our own specially crafted spiritual curriculum that God had for us to learn the lessons that He wanted each of us to learn. I think as it applies to parenting, although I am no expert in parenting, I'm a student of parenting and a parent, if that's not apparent. I consider it this way, that just like you can have, let's say, a Lamborghini or a Mack truck, of which I own neither, but if you were to climb into the cab of each of those vehicles, they would have a very different response to you, the same person. So that Lamborghini, I imagine, would be very responsive to you pressing down on the gas. It would accelerate quickly. It would probably be responsive on the brakes as well, where the Mack truck would take a bit longer for it to get going and build momentum. And then trying to stop a fully loaded Mack truck with a trailer in a short distance would be a very difficult feat, especially if you were traveling fast. And I think raising children is the same way, where they each need a different approach. They have different needs and different abilities that need to be fostered in different ways. So we must approach each child in a unique way that's best for them. And it's the way that God approaches us as His children. And if life is a specially scripted curriculum just for us, then our challenge is really to embrace what God has already given us, or what God is giving us in the future. And I've found that one way to do this, especially during this difficult season, is to give thanks as much as possible and in as many ways as possible. And that this is a great way to find riches in life. Shabbat Shalom.